And we are live. Good morning, good morning, good morning, South Florida, and hello, world. I am Robert Henderson Jr., President, founder, CEO of the Henderson Financial Group, located here in Miami Lakes, Florida. We are a full-service financial planning firm. And joining me live, my co-host, my brother from another mother. Boy, I tell you, my friend, Mr. One and only James Thomas. How you doing, my brother?
It's good to be your friend, Rob. It's good to be
You
your
more
friend.
than my friend. You my brother from another mother.
I appreciate the love. I appreciate the love. And good morning, everybody. Don't forget, hey, to check in. You can do comments. Robert, it's getting to the point that I have people checking in with me, asking me, are we going to be on and what time? I had a teacher call me earlier this week and asked, where can JT, where can we hear more of what you're doing and da 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 da. So I had to tell them this is where it is and this is what it's going to be.
Oh man, it's
So
what you said. Hey, this in divine order.
Rob, a part of my study this morning was how we get into the peace that passes all understanding. And most people think that getting into that peace is when everything is chill around you. But the peace that goes beyond understanding is when the world is in turmoil.
Chaos.
And you still, Rob, and you still, like the two of us, got smiles on your faces. Hey, Rob, it does not affect us.
No.
Now, people will say that it will, but no. Not if you prepared. And that preparation is what we discuss all the time, because things are never going to be, quote unquote, all the time perfect for all of us. Because we all have different needs, different thoughts, so forth and so on. So all of a sudden, if you have not prepared for such a time as this, Rob, you can't sleep. You have anxiety. You have, because you worried about, well, what if? You have fear. Come on, man.
Yeah. Fear is a crippling emotion. It's a crippling. It makes you do things you shouldn't do and keep you from doing the things you should do.
That's what, when you don't deal with truth, Rob, we are connected spiritually. When you don't deal with that truth, and when you don't deal with acting on the truth, because a lot of people know the truth, but they don't act on the truth. It's almost like, like Christians say, I believe in God. But the first thing they do is say, I done prayed and asked God to do this, to do that. Now, I know I got to go out here and I got to, wait a minute. Are you going to believe in God and trust in him? Or are you going to be double-minded and ask God to do what you want done, but then you are going to go out and do it in the natural rather than in the spiritual?
Well, just like Pontius Pilate said, the Rome governor back in the day, he says, what is this truth you keep talking about, James? What is this truth? Who needs this truth? He says, we're in Rome. We control everything. We have all the spoils. We everything. We make the rules, the laws. We do what we want to. Who needs truth? What is he saying? and that's the Roman governor said. In Rome. And today, James, I'm hearing you talking about we have truth. I'm pretty sure there's millions of people right now, James, saying, what is James T talking about? This truth. What is truth?
I'm sorry, brother. If they don't ask, seek, and knock, Rob, they're never gonna get it, because it just don't jump on you. Rob, it don't do like snow and rain and the weather and all. It just don't jump upon you. You have got to seek it. But man, it's a good day. We're getting a little chill here in South Florida. Did you notice the weather has changed?
Yeah, but I think they overhyped it because it ain't that cold. I mean, it's nice. It's nice weather. I would say it's nice weather. It's not, humid as normally down here in South weather. So it's nice. It's nice weather. Other parts of the world, my house in the Poconos, man, they told me it was 14 degrees. and I'm supposed to be going there in March, man, next month. And it's 14 degrees. I sure hope it ain't 14 degrees from the time I get there, in the Pocono Mountains.
Well, take a jacket.
No,
Take a
and long
jacket.
johns.
So
How you
Rob,
doing?
two things is happening. I'm speaking tomorrow. At
Excellent.
oh my goodness, I got to look it up. I only made one commitment because we've been so busy doing what we do and building. So all of a sudden, I said I could not turn down Miss Atkins. I'm going to be speaking in Dania Beach. I'll post it up on my social page as well, and for Black History Month, and it talks about, am I my brother's keeper?
Oh man, that's some good stuff. Am I
Am I
my
my
brother's
brother's
keeper?
keeper?
Whoa.
And when you start seeking out that truth, Rob, and when you realize that we were put here on this earth for a kingdom purpose, not just for the purpose of, hey, Rob, look at me. Hey, Rob, let's do this. Hey, no. If you would seek that kingdom purpose, so I'm gonna have a good time tomorrow.
Oh man,
I'm gonna
congratulations. I know the people gonna have a good time listening to you.
I'm gonna have a good time tomorrow. So, but anyway, hey, and I understand Monday you're going to be dealing with our friends at Embrace Girls Foundation.
Yeah, not this Monday. We put it off until the following Monday.
Oh, to the following Monday. Okay.
I think that's March 3rd, Understanding Monday. I'm gonna be teaching the kids how the markets work, how the stock market work, how does it work, I'm
Right,
gonna demonstrate to
okay.
the kids. So I'm
Fantastic.
gonna love that. But I want to say good morning to Nail Spa and Miss Redhead, Mr. Redhead. Thank you all for joining us. We know the rest of the gang will be filtering in here, but we have a great show lineup for you today. Last week, James, I talked about annuities, the different type of annuities, variable annuities, the fixed annuity, and index annuity. So my favorite is the index annuity, and sometimes the fixed annuity I like, but that variable annuity, I don't like anything that variable. If I'm putting money into an annuity, that means I want my principal guarantee. I definitely don't want it to vary. So I wouldn't get a variable annuity. You follow me? And a lot of agents, a lot of advisors, they like to sell a variable annuities because they get more bang for their buck, and plus when they get more commission. There's more fees that are associated with more fees, back fees that you don't see when you're associated with variable annuities. And that's why I sold those 25 years ago when I said, "Oh my God, this is awful," So I don't sell those. 25 years since I sold a variable annuity, so I don't like them. I went behind the curtains and see the expenses and what people don't know, and I said, "This is some junk. It's good for whoever's selling them, but it's not good for you who's buying it." Okay, take it from me, Robert Henderson. You can call me if you got a variable annuity like Voya and a whole lot of them. You don't know. You think you're not being charged, but trust me, you're being charged. And some of them 2%, 3.5%. Some of them $3,000, $4,000 a year. Man, you don't know about it. So when you think that you're not being charged, you've been charged if you got a variable annuity. So give me a call and I'll do an MRI on it. And now I'll call a company with you, and then we'll go over it and dissect it and look at all the expenses and charges. So I like annuities, but I don't like variable annuities. And I like fixed and guaranteed principal annuities, okay? Because they serve a purpose. Last week, I was breaking it down. I was saying on the left-hand side, you have something that's a stock market, investment market. And there's only two places you can go when you invest in your money, two categories. One category is the guarantee category. Guarantee, what they say you're going to get, that's what you're going to get. Whatever you sign up for, that's what you're going to get. And that's the insurance side. And it insures you. And I like that side a whole lot. I do like the left side too, which is the maybe. Maybe Islam is the stock market, is mutual funds, is exchange traded funds, real estate, anything that's not going into business, starting your little restaurant and all that. That's a maybe. A lot of people have started businesses when they retired and lost their shirt and they had to go back to work. That's maybes. Now, but then again, if you really want to really grow, you got to take some sort of risk. So you're going to have to be on the maybe side. See, you a lot of times you start off on the maybe side, growing a business, working. But then when you say, okay, listen, I made it and I got enough. Now I want to change it and put it on the guarantee where I can't lose this side. And that's the insurance side. Most people, our clients, James, most of our clients here, I would say probably 99.9% of our clients, we diversify. We have some money in the market. We like, the Apples, and we like the Amazons, and the Nvidias, and we like that. We even like the Facebook, the Metas, who they've done very well for us. But we don't just have all of that money in one basket. What we do is we'll put some in the growth side, which is the market, the ETF, mutual funds, stocks, and then we always put some money inside of the guarantee, the show enough money, the money where your grandma will put under the sofa or something in the cookie jar. We always have some money because you never know what's going to happen. So we put, and when you get ready to retire, we have less money in the stock market side, and we put the most money in the show enough side, the guarantee, the principal that's going to be there and last and give you income, cash flow for the rest of your life. And that's in the insurance side. So most of our clients have a little stocks, but then they'll have some life insurance and IUL, because that's protection. I like that. And today I'm going to talk more about the Index Universal Life and why I like it. Okay. So we'll have a little IUL, and then we'll also have some real estate, because I still love my first professional real estate license. This was my first professional license that I ever got, was real estate. That was back in 1979. That was my first professional license that I got. I got the girl pregnant when I was 20 years old. So I dropped out of college. I ain't had time for him to give me no degree and ask for a job. I had to go make my job. So I went out there and I got a real estate license. And boy, I tell you, I killed it. I still had a job, CBS Channel 4, but I went on ahead and I had to get some maybe money, and that was selling.
And Rob, I bet you made more income from real estate than you did on your job.
Oh, yes, I did. Oh, yes, I did. But I still had to have some of that guaranteed money, that job, that 9-to-5 job, just to make sure I was going to pay the bills. But really, my heart was in really, really making money and really getting more in the maybe side, which was I was selling real estate. So how you doing, Carol? Good morning. Good morning, Iris. Norvik. Good morning. Good morning, Joseph, Islam, Brenda Brown. The crew all falling in. I love that. I love that. I'm just recapping what we talked about last week, and this, because and the reason why I'm explaining it like this, because I want it to stick to you, because words get in the way. So I'll give you metaphors, a demonstration of parables, just so to stick to you. So I want in your mind, there's two categories. I'm telling you. How do you say, black or white, rich or poor, guaranteed or maybe. And when you work so hard, to amass and save, you was in the maybe category. But then when you get ready to retire, you come out of the rain, come out of the snow, you want to take it easy, you're getting older, you don't want to hustle bustle no more. You need to be put money in that guarantee side where you can't lose a dime, and it's going to give you residuals. So you can sit down and you can just have a cup of tea or coffee, whatever you drink, and then the money coming in for the rest of your lifetime, so you won't run out of money. You never want to outlive your money. That's the worst thing to do. Outlive your money. You still alive and you ain't got no more money. That's a sad case. That's a sad case. You alive and the money gone. You spent it all. You bought all them cars. You bought all them red bottom shoes, and bottom of them, they're not red no more. They all scuffed up. You bought all them clothes that you can't wear no more. You don't want to wear no more. Time. A lot of times, let me tell you something. I do think, James, as you become more conscious and understanding and awareness, for a lot of us, clothes start to diminish in our minds. We don't really care about the latest outfit. We start saying, that's not a big deal anymore what I wear. For a lot of us, some of y'all, I don't know. My mom was 85 years old. Boy, when Johnny May went to church, she still wouldn't be, look at me. Because people compliment her.
You made it possible. And you made it possible.
Oh, I made it possible. I made it possible. I just tell her, Mom, why you got something new every time you go to church? I say, you 85 years old. You still think they're looking at you?
Yes.
She said, yes, they comment. Oh, Johnny May, look what you got. Oh, I like that outfit. Oh, Johnny May, you so shy. Oh, Johnny May. Oh, Johnny. And I said, Mom, they Jedi minding you, spending all your money. Who cares? But for a lot of us, you get to a certain age, you don't care about a lot of stuff you don't care about, which is good. I think that's a sign of wisdom. Now, let's go back to the two sides, black, white, good or bad, hot or cold, risk or non-risk. You know, in the stock market, look at it. It went down 700 points yesterday. It's going to be volatile. It's going to be pretty ugly. You know, I just heard that in the DC area, a lot of people that have federal government jobs, 2,000 homes are up for sale all at once. Just came on the market. Boom. Why? Because they laid off a lot of federal governments. Can you imagine, James? Oh my God! Can you imagine? Got a house and mortgage and kids, and all of a sudden they say, "Bam! You don't have a job anymore." You be like, you know, it's 2,000 homes on the sale. And the thing about it, all on DC just came on the market. People lost their job. They got to sell their homes. Have some empathy, you know. And then when that happens, it's not like a lot of buyers are going to be buying, because right now the interest rates are 7%. It's high. People can't qualify, especially a lot of people lost jobs that are in the Maryland, Virginia area, because there are a lot of military bases, and a lot of military government workers, and they're being slashed. Can you imagine that?
Rob,
Man.
I have found that what we do is we prepare for today, right? And then when tomorrow comes, today becomes yesterday.
That's right.
And we're not prepared for tomorrow. So that you know, it is so important, folks. Thanks for joining us wherever you are. It's Understanding Money, part 2. I don't know if we ever did a part 1. It's always
last week we talked about annuities and the market.
This is part 2, but you gotta get this. And don't be. Do you know something, Rob? There's some people who don't want to hear the truth. Rob, I'm serious.
Can't stand the truth. Can't stand the light. Can't stand darkness.
Something?
Some people don't even come out in the daytime. They wait till nighttime. They come out at 3 o'clock a.m.
Rob. So what Mr. Henderson is talking about, folks, is, you know, everybody threw this woke word around. It was to mean so many things to so many different people. But as I tell people, let's not talk about being woke. Let's wake up. Wake up to something that we don't know. I mean, Rob, doesn't it gratify you to learn something? Because you go to all these conferences and you're looking at new ideas, you're looking at new strategies, but many of the people are also picking your brain because they're seeing how you have been successful in doing what you do, and it's not the same thing over and over. I share with my engineer. I said, I don't want to go where the puck is. I want to go where the puck is going. So prepare me for that. You know, hey, if you know, Rob, when we were younger, we might have wanted a 2-seater car. Hey, when you get married and have kids, hey, where are you going to put the kids in a 2-seater car? You know, so all of a sudden, like you said, we have to change. So folks, now, what time is it? Whatever, look at your watch or your clock or whatever it is, look at your computer. Whatever time it is right now is time for you to say, I'm going to make that change.
Yeah, I'm going to make that change. It is time. It's time. Hey, I see Parnell Parnell Victor, my man. He just joined us. Good morning, Parnell. He says, trust will set you free. He said truth. Truth will set you free. What is truth? Norvik. Hey, Norvik says the Ladybird deed versus living trust, irrevocable trust, no taxes, no inheritance. Okay, I'm going to touch on that, Norvik, because her and I were just talking about that earlier this week. Yeah, because she was asking me about, you know, she should get a living trust and that kind of stuff. And I told her I had a Ladybird deed for my mother. A living trust is very good because you avoid probate. And it's good, especially if you have, you know, multiple assets, not just the house, but you have, you know, other real estate, and you have kids and you have nephews and grandkids and all that. So you might want to get a living trust. So when you pass, you want to be able to make sure everybody gets who you want them to get. Everybody gets who you want to get something. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to go through an attorney or a court and go through that awful thing called probate. If it's for something simple, if you live with your mom, taking care of your mom or your dad, and you've been taking care of them, and they want to make sure that, you know, you've been helping them, and they want to make sure that when they pass, that you get the property. pass it on to you without having a lawyer probate, then you want to get a ladybird deed. They cost about $125. Okay. And it's just one piece of paper, actually, because I had that from my mom. And now the property is back into Natalie and myself. So we own the property. I bought that property back in 1986, and my mom retired. I put it in her name, and it's one of the strategies, put it in her name, because even though she moved into the property in Miami Lakes, if I'd have kept it in me and Natalie name, it wasn't our homestead, so the property tax just kept going up and up and up and up. And I said, man, I need to stop this. So I said, Mom, you live in the house, why don't I just put it in your name? And she said, good idea. You get the senior citizen credit, and now it's your house, okay? But before you make your transition, it's gonna be back my house. And she said, well, you got two other sisters. I say, well, we're gonna do a ladybird deed.
Ooh, wait, repeat that. Wait. You have other siblings. You have
Right.
other siblings.
Right.
You bought your mom the house.
Right.
You put it
Right.
in her name.
Well,
but you set it up.
Let's roll it back. That was my first house in Miami Lakes in the Moors in 1986. When I got married with Natalie, we got married in 87, but we bought it in 86. It was in Robert and Natalie's name, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the year 2000, my mom retired from Hialeah High. Okay, she's a custodian, and she retired, and she was living in Opelika. So the neighborhood changed, as we know. Old neighborhoods don't stay the same. So then I moved over to me and Natalie's house, but me and I bought another house. So when my mom was living in my house with me and Natalie's name on the deed, my mom moved in. But I noticed every year, since it wasn't my homestead, I didn't qualify for homestead exemption. Just because I moved out and moved my mother in, got another house. That house became like a rental. The government looks at it as a rental house now. It's not my primary residence. So every year they kept raising the property taxes. Property tax kept going up. So I said, oh my God, Mom, I need to stop this bleeding. You living in this house and the property taxes keep going up. I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put the house in your name. And she said, you will? I said, yeah, Mom. I'm gonna put the house in your name. It's your house now. It's your house until you get ready to go to the pearly gates. And she said, well, how you gonna get it back? Because you got two older sisters, and they gonna be saying, since it's my house, Junior, when I go, it's their asset too. I said, no, we gonna get it. We got them. I got a plan for them. I'm a strategist. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it now beforehand, because you're gonna live a long time. This was in the year 2000. So she lived 23 more years. So what I did that ladybird deed, cost like $100, right? One sheet of paper. It basically says that this house is Johnny Mae Homestead, Johnny Mae Henderson Homestead. She owns the house. She can sell it. She can paint it. She can do whatever she want to do with it. She can get a mortgage, whatever she want to do with it. But upon her death, this house reverts back to Robert and Natalie. That's estate planning. I ain't need no lawyer. And then when she passed in August 27, 2023, I didn't have to do nothing. Automatic, the house just boom, death certificate, mom gone to the pearly gates, bam, it's already in Natalie and Robert's name. The problem is the property taxes went from $1,100 a year to now it's back again to $6,300 a year. I'm like, whoa! Well, I tell you, the washer don't get you, the rinser will. I got the house, but I got a higher property tax too.
So Robert, you need another senior to go in.
Yeah, I need another senior. Got any seniors out there to live in the house? No. But it's too late. I got a good tenant that living in the house.
Okay, beautiful.
It's like a family member, and he's paying nice rent. You know what I mean?
Good. So therefore, the taxes don't matter no more.
The taxes don't matter. I just pass them on to him. You know what I mean? But anyway, okay. So I kind of regurgitated. Okay, man, I want to. So we talked about Noorvik. We talked about the ladybird deed, which is an excellent. So I hope you got to make sure the ladybird deed is good in your area. Every state don't do that because they want to look out for the attorneys and the judges so they can get money. Okay, that's basically the bottom line. I don't know why every state don't have it. You got to just check and see if your state accept ladybird deeds. Florida does. Okay, now Islam. Let me read what you just said. Islam. Hi, Rob. I know this is a financial show, but I'm asking this question because I really don't know. My husband told me that Tua, the Dolphins quarterback, has a guaranteed $167 million in contract. What does that mean? And how is that possible? I found this out from my husband. So that just blew you away, huh? Yeah, you know this is a financial, but it's about money. And you wanted to ask me about the Dolphins quarterback guarantee, $167 million contract. Yeah, it is true. I think actually I think he's making $53 million a year, whether he show up or play or not. That is true. And that's because of supply and demand. People are buying all them tickets. The owner get all that money and they pass it on to the players. Don't hate the player, hate the game. So that is true. You know, the money got to go somewhere for the. I don't know what it costs to park, $100 or something at the stadium. I don't know. So yeah, that's true. Okay, let me get back to recapping what we talked about last week. We talked about understanding that there's two categories in everybody's life that you have the choice to make. Do you want to protect your money, and how much money do you want at risk? That's all. You don't have to be so sophisticated. You always want to know, I have money. So let's say all of a sudden you inherit $100,000. You have to ask yourself, okay, what I'm going to do with this $100,000? You want that $100,000 to grow. So I'm going to ask you, how much do you want to protect? And you go, what you talking about, Mr. Henderson? How much do you want of that $100,000 to guarantee that you don't lose a penny? And a lot of people say, I want all of it guaranteed. If you want all of it guaranteed, the growth is not going to be as significant as taking risk, because there's a reason for that. You always have, it's like you have night and you have day. You have the sun, daylight, and you have nighttime, and they serve different purposes. So if you want $100,000 to be guaranteed, I can put you in there's investments where it's guaranteed, but it may grow at 5%, 6%, which might be good. Depends on how much time you have. Most of the time we use the guaranteed type categories when you have retired and you want to get a stream of income so it never runs out. Because when you put money in the insurance side, it's for protection. Your money is protected. Matter of fact, you is protected. Because because if it's not an annuity, then we'll put it inside of an insurance policy, an IUL. How does that protect? Can you put $100,000 in IUL? Yes, you can. You put $100,000 in IUL. It depends on if you're 45 or if you're 75, how much death benefit they're going to give you. But the reason why we would put it into a life insurance is not because to protect you against death, which that is a major reason. We'll put it in there because once it goes in there, it grows. It may grow at 6, 7. Some of them grow at 9%, and you pay no taxes. And then you have access to the money. But if you just want to keep it in there for what we call wealth building, it grows because when you put the $100,000 in there, you may have $500,000 death benefit. So not only do you save money, but if you want to leave it on to your grandkids or whatever, rather than leaving them $100,000, since it's in an insurance policy, when you die, the insurance company will give them $500,000, and that's tax-free. So that's a good strategy for people who want to leave something for their grandkids, okay? Not too many people want to leave something to their kids nowadays. They're thinking about the grandkids if you have them. But some of them, got the kids, right? So so the IUL, the life insurance, that's what we use that for. The other reason why I like an index universal life is because not only can I put money inside of it, overfund it, not only can I overfund it, and let me say something about the overfunding. This young lady said that she got an index universal life, an IUL, and she's paying the minimum. She's putting in the minimum just to keep it afloat. In other words, that's like saying that you have your gas, you never full. When you get ready to go to gas tank, you get ready to go to gas station, you never fill your tank up. You always put a quarter of gas in there. So if you only put a quarter and you never fill it up, I don't know. I guess that's good if you only have a budget, but or if you only go, I got another analogy. Let's say your car meter, you look at it, your car can go 180 miles an hour. That's the top speed, 180 miles an hour. And you get in your car and you only drive it and you go 10 miles an hour everywhere you go, 10 miles. You're slowing up traffic, everybody looking, whatever. But you're in your car, you're driving, but you're driving 10 miles an hour. So that's like when you buy an IUL It's capable of doing so much, but you're going 10 miles an hour in it. It's not really benefiting you. You got a souped up Henny, what they call that? Some kind of super cat, what kind of car they call these jacked up cats that I forget what they call them, but anyway, Hellcat. You got a Hellcat car, and it goes so fast it can outrun a policeman. But when you get into it, you only drive 10 miles an hour. All this horsepower, but you only drive 10 miles an hour. So in other words, when someone sell, you hear me talking about an IUL, and people go, don't come to me. They go to somebody else and get an IUL, and they say, what's the minimum I can pay for an IUL? That's like getting a Hellcat fast supercar with a jacked up motors and all that. But when you get in the car, you're going to drive 10 miles an hour. You might as well be in a Toyota or be in something. Why would you be in an expensive muscle car and you're going to go 10 miles an hour? But you heard, I've got a Hellcat muscle car. But you're going to go 10 miles an hour. So you heard IUL, and then you go talk to somebody and say, what's the minimum I can pay for an IUL? An IUL is built to put a lot of money in so that thing could take off like a rocket ship and later on give you all kind of tax-free money. That is what an IUL. You know what the most important thing about an index universal life when you want to get one of those, IUL, is the design. How is it designed? It is designed for growth, a lot of money. That's what it's designed for. That's what it is. That's the most important thing about getting an insurance policy is how is it designed? Do you know we designed the policy? Once you say you want it, we ask you, what's your goal? Do you want a lot of life insurance so when you die? Or do you want less life insurance, but you want the money you put in there to grow faster than the life insurance that's in there because you want to have that cash? That's a design. And most people don't know that because you heard it on Instagram, get an IUL. People tell me they got an IUL and they putting $50 a month in it. What is that? What is that? It's like having a jet fighter plane and you on I-95 stuck in traffic. And if you knew how to work it, you could just fly out of there. But you don't know how to work it. So you in traffic too on I-95 or Turnpike or 75. And you ride in traffic. And somebody say, you got a jet fighter plane and you in bumper to bumper traffic. Why don't you just fly the hell out of here? Well, I don't know how to do that. That's what you have. Okay. Now let's get back. When you come to the Henderson Financial Group, that's why what we try to do once we assess you, do an MRI on you, we'll say, okay, what's your goals? What's your objective? 90% of the people that come to Henderson Financial Group, we will have some growth. We have a little bit of money because you always should be growing money, taking a little bit of risk, but not all the risk. And then we're going to put you in the safe stuff. We got to protect you. And then what I like about the IUL is that, let's say you have $100,000 and you put it in there. You don't have to put $100,000 in. You can put in $10,000 a year if you want to. Okay, don't be talking about the $100 a month. You don't need IUL. Okay, you don't need that. Just get some death insurance. But if you want to save money, that's when you want to put it into an index universal life. You want to dump more money in there. Instead of putting the money into that 401k, you want to dump money into an IUL. I'm telling you. Why? Because it's like a Swiss Army knife. Not only does it give you death benefit that don't run out like them term insurance policy that say you got to die a certain time. You can live forever with an IUL. It's going to still guarantee your coverage. The second thing about it is that death benefit, if you don't die and all of a sudden you get cancer or stroke or heart attack, they give you the death benefit now tax-free. And that's something.
Repeat, rewind, Rob. Yeah. See, don't run too fast past that. Go ahead. That Swiss Army knife allows you to do what?
It's so flexible until you can put the money in there. You may put $20,000 in this year. Next year, you may put $5,000. It's just that flexible. But it covers you because all of us going to die, right? We know that. We don't want to believe it. We don't want to talk about it, but we are. And we all going to get old. And I don't care how pretty and fine you are. Gravity going to take its case. Going to take its course. Everything drops. Everything changes. Everything changes. I used to have a hair full of hair.
Got an afro.
I used to have an afro and they had braids, but I don't have that no more. Okay. I ain't getting no implants. You heard bleeding my scalp. But anyway, okay. So you say roll it back, James. So let's say let's say you got a $500,000 life insurance policy, or maybe $300,000 life insurance policy. All right.
Go ahead.
And all of a sudden you get sick. They tell you got prostate cancer, breast cancer. Soon as the doctor says that life insurance policy, you ain't got to die to use it. They're going to give you part of the money now, tax-free, so you can feel good and help you, whatever your expenses and stuff, you know? What if you have a mild heart attack or a massive heart attack? They give you the money now. That's what I like. What if all of a sudden you have that policy and all of a sudden you get older and now you have so much money in that policy and you need long-term care? It turns into long-term care benefits. Isn't that amazing? So that's amazing, man. See, I don't pay for a cancer policy. What if I die in my sleep and never get cancer? That money went down the drain. A friend of mine who I went to elementary school, he called me on day, 66 years old. He said, listen, I need a life insurance policy. He said, I need $200,000-$300,000 to cover my family. I said, that's all? He said, man, that's all I can afford. He said, how much that's going to cost? Well, I said, well, $100,000 at your age, 66, because you're almost dead, costs $241 a month. That's for $100,000. That's the bare minimum. You know, it's not saving line. It's not an IUL. Okay, it's just it gives him a saving because he can't afford it now because he waited so long. But if he could afford $10,000 a year or $9,000, then I could have got him something good. But he can't. You know what I mean? So he said, Robert, just give me something. I said, what do you have now? He says, I have $500,000 of accidental death. I said, do you know what that really means? He said, yeah, I know what it means now. He said, I had it for 10 years. I say, so you thought that a lot of people think that accidental death insurance is life insurance, but no. Accidental death says that you have to die of an accident. Now, there's people do die of accidents, but more people die that wasn't an accident. So if you want to gamble and pay your money, I know I'm gonna die by accident. Be my guest. But if you die in your sleep, your family gets nothing. You know what I mean?
Isn't that something, Rob? That's
what
I'm talking about seeking truth and making righteous decisions based on truth. Not because we get taught facts, but they don't necessarily, just because it's a fact, folks, does not mean it's truth. Yeah, because we've been told facts all of our lives from kindergarten. And then all of a sudden we grow up and be able to read and listen to other people. We find out why they told us that lie. Why? And we got an A on our test sheet, man. But hey, and it's about lies. It's about lies. So, Rob, the truth that you're sharing now hopefully will open the eyes, the mind, and the heart of people saying, wait a minute, I need a checkup. What does the Henderson Financial Group do when they come in to say that they would like to take a look at where they are and hopefully have a vision of where they'd like to go? Don't you give them a checkup?
Absolutely. We do an MRI on you. We do an X-ray. We do an ultrasound. We want to look. We want to find out. You say you're hurting. You don't know why you're hurting. We don't just prescribe a product to you. Here, take some medicine. Go to Walgreens or CVS. Take that to make you feel good. No. We go with the cause. We find out what's happening. Oh, man, you got a cyst on your ovaries. We're going to tell you what to do with that. And then we might have to operate. Or we might say just some exercise. Or we might tell you to stop eating so much salt. Stop eating that whole pig every day. And stop eating that soul food every day like it's Thanksgiving. You got dressing, collard greens. You got 2-3 starches on your plate. Why don't you try by cutting that off? You don't need to have rice and potatoes and macaroni and cheese on that serving, on that plate. You don't have to, because that's what's clogging your arteries. So you need to have some understanding. I'm talking food, but I'm also talking about you got the wrong stuff. They sold you this, they sold you that. You got this coming out of your check. They sold you this. You don't need that. You think you covered with life insurance and you got an accidental death. You got to die by accident. You know what that really means? That means that if you die in your sleep, they got to get you out of bed, put you in the car, and run the car into the pole. And chances are you ain't going to, they still ain't going to pay you, because they're going to send Barnaby Jones. They're going to send an insurance investigator out there to find out that you died at 3 a.m. in the morning, and the accident that they put you in the car was at 8 o'clock. So you died way before that, so you get nothing. Now you got to go take up a GoFundMe to bury Homer. You follow me? So that, you can't the system, man, give it and the system take it away. James, when you keep talking about this truth, I'm gonna say like Pontius Pilate said, the governor of Rome. What is this truth you keep talking about? And the people don't know this truth, man. If you don't know what truth is, if you don't know, I would say truth. You know what? Truth to me is like being able to ride a bike and balance yourself without training wheel. That's truth. That's the real deal. Being able to ride a bike, that feeling you get and hold yourself up. That's the truth, man. Truth is like being able, not knowing how to swim and learning how to swim, and all of a sudden you in the water. Oh man, you trying to figure out how can I do that? That's truth, man. That's the truth. You know what I mean? Truth is when your health is good and your blood is flowing, and you did a checkup and you all right. That's true. Not truth is know that you're not taking your high blood pressure pills and your headache and you're getting dizzy and you still won't take them and you won't go to the doctor. That's not truth. Okay. That is not true. Truth is knowing your stomach. Non-truth is knowing your stomach is so big, you look like you're carrying a drum and you won't even try. You won't even try to start shedding some pounds for your own life and your own self. That's non-truth. Okay. Now, okay. So let's go back to, remember I told you, everybody comes to this realization. You have to decide the left or the right. On the left side is the maybe. See, in the stock market, I don't care who you invest in, it's always, we don't know. We hope it works. We believe that it's going to work. We think that it's going to work. We feel that it's going to work. There's a lot of people have too much money in that category. You got all your savings in. I hope, I feel, I think. I don't care if it's Goldman Sachs. I don't care if it's Merrill Lynch. Think about this. When the stock market drops and crashes, they don't tell you before they so smart. They say, hey, y'all, Wednesday, take your money out because the stock market going to crash. They don't say that. Their money go down too. I'm telling you. I mean, I've been trading stocks since 1983. And I'm telling you, you can't put all your eggs. Now, we've done very well in the stock market, but once you stop making money in the stock market, then you want to put it over into the insurance stuff. You want to put it into the life insurance, protection, cash value life insurance. Then you want to put it in some real estate, okay? And then you also want to put it into some annuities that they're going to pay you. You want to take it from there and put it over here. It's like you want, like a squirrel, eat some nuts, but put some nuts away. Because you want to put some nuts away and put it there, because you know the next years are coming. If you plan on living, that's what you want to do, because that's going to be growing and it's going to prosper. So by that time you get there, the next 10 years, 20 years, man, you living good. You've done a good thing. Now, for those of you all who spending every dime, living paycheck to paycheck, ain't a whole lot I could do for you. Because if you don't love yourself enough to save some of your money, you need a psychiatrist. You don't need a financial planner. I mean, I can't do a lot. If you come to me and you enjoy spending all your money, it's not a whole lot for me to do. Jesus says there will always be the poor among you, especially if you got a federal job. Now that used to be so safe, but now you got this man in the office that said we cutting back all that. You know the funny thing about that, when they say they're going to cut back and they trim and they found $2 trillion of waste in the governments. Let me tell you something. Since the beginning of America, we all know that there was waste. America has a lot of waste. America have hot dog eating contests, watermelon hitting contests. Oh, America wastes a lot of food. So when they get there and say they get ready to trim government and trim the fat and stop all this waste, what does that really mean, man? Well, and people losing their job. Think about that. But if you swallowed the Kool-Aid and you felt that you were safe, this is a wake-up time. Don't commit suicide. It's time now for you to start thinking what you need to do in order to survive. It's thinking. Right now, it's thinking time. It's game time. You got to start thinking of another plan. That's what you got to do. And if you don't know, come to the Henderson Financial Group and we'll help you think of another plan. That's what we do. You don't know the telephone number? 305-825-2222. 1444. Why? Because if you got fired or laid off and you have some kind of government plan, hopefully you had some sort of benefits. We can roll them over and help sustain you. Okay. You're going to always have to cut back because I don't know how much you save, but there is hope all the time. Anything that takes place, if any problem, there's always a solution. It's just you have to ask and you have to seek and you have to knock. Call 305-825-1444. You can go on our website at www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. James.
Rob, I saw a thing where I think it was Boris Cujo, whatever his last name is, and the question came up. He was asked, "What would you tell your 18-year-old self?" And I thought about that this morning. I said, I want to ask Rob, knowing all that you have learned, all that you know, knowing that there's so much more for us to know and to learn, but what would you tell your 18-year-old self, or would have told your 18-year-old self had you known what you know?
Okay, that's a good question. That's a very good question. And I'm going to tell you what I would have, what I would tell my 18-year-old self, if I can go back and be in both places and be in both dimensions. I would say, Robert, listen, let me tell you how the game works. They fooled us. They made us think that buying things and stuff that fade away is it, but that ain't it. Robert, you're 18. I'm telling you, save a minimum 20% of everything that you earn. Why? Because I want you to save that 20% automatically, like you don't even have it. And I want you to plant seeds, and I want you to put that in investments that will pay you in the future, where you don't have to do anything if you don't want to, that will pay you for a lifetime. You're working, Robert, you're going to be working from 18 years old. But what you want to do, the name of the game is not trying to get rich. The name of the game is you want to get wealthy. And Robert, let me tell you the difference between rich and wealthy, because a lot of people at 18, 21 can get rich. There's a lot of people have gotten rich. They was rich, but now they're poor. You look at the entertainers, they was rich, but they died poor. You look at drug dealers, man, they was rich, but they're poor. They either dead or in jail. You look at athletes. We have all kind of athletes that was rich, but then they was poor. So rich ain't it. Wealth is where it is. And how do you accumulate wealth? You accumulate wealth for whatever you make. Put a minimum 20% away so that could season, invest that. So that will work for you. And if you keep putting those 20% away at 18 years old, by the time you're 40 years old, you probably won't have to work no more if you didn't want to, because that money would have grown and compound. The earlier you start investing and saving and investing, the quicker you become very wealthy. Now, let me tell you what wealthy is. Let me tell you what wealthy is, because wealth means different for different people. If your overhead living expenses is $5,000 a month, let's just say, but you have assets, you have wealth that just the dividends and the interest is going to pay you monthly $10,000 a month, you are wealthy. Now, let me give you a visual. That's like taking some seeds and putting in the ground and growing a tree. At 18, you take the seeds and you put in the ground and you plant. What kind of seeds are you planting? You're planting a tree that's going to give you growth and it's going to give you income. What do you mean by that? What I mean by you're taking those seeds at 18 and you're taking that 20% and you keep buying them and you keep cultivating that tree. Because one day that tree going to grow up, 20 years, it's going to grow up. It's going to be a strong tree. The roots going to be deeply, deeply rooted. Why? Because when a hurricane comes, the wind blow, it's going to be so strong, it's not going to break. It also, that tree right there, also going to give you shade. So when it gets so hot in South Florida, you can go sit under that shade. Follow me? Now, That's good. It's deeply rooted. It ain't going nowhere.
That fruit? What about that fruit, Rob?
I'm coming to that. Boy, I'm coming with that fruit. I'm coming with that fruit. It's so hot in South Florida. It's giving you shade. So now you sitting under the shade. You ain't in the hot sun. Okay. So it gives you comfort. Now, all of a sudden, the tree start bearing fruit. And you're a little hungry. And all of a sudden, a strawberry or a mango or a grape or whatever just drop out. You all, and what's more healthier than fruit? Nothing. and then you plant it with that 20%. You planted some vegetables. Now, listen, y'all, I'm not talking about farming. I'm using the analogy of fruit and farming. Those are investments. That tree might be an annuity, a growth guaranteed income annuity. It grew. When it get to a certain age, then all of a sudden the income comes. That's a growth income and annuity. That's not a variable annuity. That's a growth income. You know, a lot of agents don't like to sell it because they tell me I'm crazy. I sell it because I tell people, listen, I give you what I would take. I won't listen. If I had a restaurant, I wouldn't sell pork because I don't eat pork. You have to go down the street and get that. So I won't sell a variable annuity because I wouldn't buy a variable annuity because I went behind the curtains and find out how it works and what they put in this junk. Okay. All right. So with this metaphor, you save at least 20% of your money. So now, but you need to have some protection too. So that's when the IUL comes. See, that's another plan. Now you start doing that early. See, James, this is what I would tell right now my 18-year-old self. I would say they fooled us trying to get rich. No, don't try to get rich because trying to get rich, you take too many unnecessary risks. Drug dealers try to get rich, but have any of us known any drug dealer that lived happily ever after? That's not a good business model. Somebody gambling, that's not a sustainable business model that you're going to be gambling for the rest of your life and you're going to be a professional gambler. That's not, some people do, but 95% of you won't. You selling drugs. I feel sorry for the people out there selling drugs and hustle. That's a short-lived life. That's not a business plan that you can ride off in the sunset and pass on to your children. They got guns. They got guns. They got robbers. No. You can't even sleep at night. You can't be in Hawaii relaxing. So you don't want to go into that. I'm still amazed that so many people are doing illegal stuff in the year 2025 because you got a whole system that's trying to make you a modern day slave and lock you up forever. That's what they're trying to do. And if you got melanin in your skin like I do, and you out there doing wrong, oh Lord Jesus, oh my God, you could have your partner could not have melanin in their skin. They're gonna give your partner less than you. Now, is that fair? No, it ain't fair. But at least you know what's coming. So don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
That's what a financial guru.
Hey James, that's what I would tell my
18-year-old self. Well, yeah. those young ladies at the Embrace Girls Foundation, they're going to be wow. You're going to elevate them with their minds, and plant a seed in them to recognize that there are things that they can do to prepare for a future that they can't even see.
Right. But that's what you need to do. Listen, anytime I see somebody riding around, they're young and they got a Bentley or whatever, can you imagine if you plan on living, if you put that money and put it in good investment, it will be 10 times that later on, and you can ride and do whatever you want to. You need to plan. All of us are farmers. Some of us ain't planting nothing. We just eating up all our crops. Matter of fact, we're eating our seeds up before they even come out of the ground. We're digging them up. So I would tell my young self that. And then listen, if you're 50 years old, you still got a lot of time. If you're 60 years old, you got time. You need a good 10 to 20 years to bring your dream into fruition. Now, those people who are retiring and they have a 401ks or a pension, if you come to the Henderson Financial Group, I'm going to tell you how you can mix that thing and make it better. You cannot just lean on your own understanding, and you cannot just go off your coworkers because your coworkers don't know. Your coworkers not wealthy. They're not rich or wealthy. They just gonna, if you don't know and what you hear, you need to go ahead, come to the Henderson Finance Group so we can tell you your options. There's so many people that don't know their options, and people that get ready to retire and they let the company take 20% off for taxes and then they take the rest. But they don't know that when you get ready to retire, there's a strategy that you don't have to get the 20% taken out. You can get all of it, but they don't know because they don't ask somebody, and they think that they know because their coworker told them, or they lean on their own understanding. But buried deep down into that retirement manual, the one that have no pictures in it, that's where the truth is. That's where the see. You got to read it, but they know you're not going to read it because we're living in a time where your attention spans are short, and something coming new every day on the streaming channel, whether it's Netflix or Hulu or Disney Channel or HBO Plus or Amazon. It's keeping us busy, and it's distraction. And when it comes to money, most of the time they explain money in a very difficult way, and most people don't understand it. So that's not an accident, what they're doing. It's designed, and it's designed to keep you confused. That's why you need to have a personal relationship with someone who can break it down to you like a 6-year-old and teach you so you can understand what you have and tell you the options that's available to you. I tell you now, if you're blessed enough to be listening to this program and hearing this program and seeing this program, that means there's something for you to do. And you have loved ones, family, and friends. You need to tell them also that there's always something for you to do. You just got to ask, seek, and you got to knock. All right. Now, if you don't want to come to me, then I don't know. I don't know who's better than me, but I don't know who you go to. But you need to go somewhere where you can feel like you know and you understand something. Hey, Donna Jared Mays, how you doing? Donna helped me out. Donna helped me out with a client that's getting ready to retire, and her homeowner. She's getting ready to retire from Dade County, and her medical costs for her and her husband is $2,300. And I said, Donna, we gotta reduce this. She's gonna retire. There's no sense in her. She's not sickly. No sense in her paying $2,300 a month just in case she gets sick. That's a lot of money. You know what I mean? That's almost $30,000 a year just in case, and they're healthy, but they want to be covered. So I was working with Donna on a strategy to reduce that. So
I want to say to Miss Donna, she's coming. Miss Donna is coming. She's we're already discussing a future for Miss Donna so that she could share. She wants to share her information to our listening audience and viewing audience as well. And I got the last package last night. As we build this empire, the last package came in last night. So it's just a matter of time, Ms. Donna. Thank you so much for all that you do. And of course, all those who were checking in with us today. Hey, thank you so much for your commenting. And if you have questions, we've got a quick 2 minutes. So anybody with a question, type in the question in the comment section, and we'll see if Mr. Henderson can answer your comment or your thought.
I hope you guys learned something. If you guys learned something, comment, put a 1 in, let me know if you got a question. There's no dumb questions because, all of us need more information. We just do. That's why I spend a lot of time traveling, going to workshops, being invited to a lot of them all over the country. I do a lot of webinars, and then I help people. And the situation, your situation, however situation you're in, trust me, there's somebody always worse, but there is an answer to there's a solution to your problem, to your question. And the people that have a lot of debt, if you have, like, you just bought the car, if you just bought the house, or if you want to retire, but you're trying to figure out how are you going to reduce your overhead expenses, then there's a plan that we have. It's called the GOOD program, getting out of debt, where you can the more money you save, the quicker your debt are paid off. So you do it simultaneously. It's not like you got to take all your money and pay off your credit cards. We take your money and we make investments, and then we use the investment as leverage to pay off your credit cards now. So you don't have to wait 5 years. You don't have to wait 10 years. It's this lady that had 29 years on her mortgage, and we did a plan where she can continue to do the same thing, but she got to do it in a different way. Now, instead of paying her house off, that's her goal. Instead of 29 years, we got it down to 11 years. That's a lot of months. That's a lot of years, from 29 years to 11 years. She was thrilled. And her car note, instead of paying it off in 5 years, we're going to pay that off in 2 years. And she didn't have to go get another job. We just rearranged her cash flow, what she was doing. And a lot of people just don't know how to do that. They never, and of course you shouldn't know how to do it, because that's not what you do. This is what we do. It's called the GOOD program, GOOD, good, get out of debt. And it's by saving, and the more you save, the more you can use your savings to leverage to pay off your debt quicker. But you got to start. You got to, like I said, if you're someone who don't want to save no money, it's not a whole lot I can do for you, because when you spending all your money making it rain, going out, buying clothes, just going out. A lot of people spend $2,000 a month just on eating out. I mean, that's $24,000 a year. Can you imagine saving $24,000 a year in 10 years?
No, Rob, can you imagine investing $24,000? Yeah. Don't save it.
Yeah. Can you imagine investing $2,000 a year instead of going to the $24,000? Yeah, $2,000 a month. I see people they spend $2,000 a month eating out. Some people just eat out every day, and they just go breakfast. Listen, morning breakfast. Then they take lunch, and then they eat out, and that stuff adds up. It compounds, and you spend $1,000, $1,500, and you got falling into a habit, and that habit, you spending $20,000 a year on eating foolish stuff that probably making you sick anyway. Yeah.
Well, Rob, I got a quickie for you before we run out of time. There are seniors who have saved monies in what CDs, whatever, in the bank, and they're elderly. Let's say that they're 80 plus. Okay, what word would you give to them? Because that money is in the bank, and now that they are learning things that they have never ever known, no one has shared with them. Is there a way that they can, quote unquote, prepare for the rest of their life, whether it is with medical conditions or whatever, and to have monies for their children and their children's children?
Yes, we can actually. There's a wealth. So that they're 80 years old, we can put it in a strategy where they receive money guaranteed coming in, like Social Security, and their principal is protected. And then if they die, the kids get that. Okay. Yes, they don't have to worry about it. All right. There's investments out there that you don't know about, and especially a lot of people of color don't know about it, because who it's not a whole lot of us that are person of color that are in the financial industry. I think it's less than 0.5% of financial advisors that are in the financial planning sphere. That's not even 1%. That's not. It's 0.5% of us that are in, that you can go and talk to. And so who do you know? So you need to build a relationship with people who you can talk to, and they can explain to you on your level, not above your level. A lot of people go to people who talk over their head and they pretend like they know, but they don't really know, And
that number again is
305-825-1444. You can call, you can get an appointment, Zoom. You can come in the office. We located here in Miami Lakes, Florida, but we get clients all over the country, man, from Chicago, Atlanta, California, New York, Virginia. I mean, we get clients all over Boston. They call in because people referring their family members. So you call, and we'll do a consultation on a Zoom, or if you, like I said, if you want to come in, we'll go to meeting, and then everything is confidential, and we'll talk about your situation. But we'll set up goals, and what you want to do is, like, we'll do a GPS. Where are you and where do you want to go, so to speak. And I'm pretty sure you'll like it, and we'll educate you. So
Fantastic. Hey, our time is up. We thank you for yours, everyone. And hey, pass it on.
We need prayer, though. You can't get out here without no prayer, bro. Okay. We need prayer.
Hey, don't forget, God created us for a purpose. And a part of my information, along with what Robert gives, is that you can't get your blessing unless the blessing can go through you to someone else. God is no fool. He's not going to bless you just for you, but he will bless you if he can count on you to being a blessing to others. So as you get this information, hey, it wasn't just for you. It was for you to pass it on. And you know somebody, that somebody may be 18 or younger. You know somebody that needs this information. So join me in praying, Lord, may our will for our lives be aligned with your will so that we may access all the spiritual blessings that are ours so that we can be a blessing to others. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
Amen. Let the church say amen. Hey, y'all, protect yourself. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Learn something, share this knowledge, and be blessed. Love you, love you, love you. Until next week, we'll be here. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Peace.